All right, here with Carlyon. He is our Jaguars beat reporter here on 1010XL.com and 1010XL 92.5 FM. You hear him on the Frangie Show every weekday afternoon, and his blogs are presented to you by Mr. Reuter of Jacksonville. And Hayes, I guess one word to describe this Jags game against Pittsburgh was dominant, to say the least.
To say the least. And this was a monumental victory. I think it's their most impressive victory maybe in the last decade when you look at regular season. To do what they were able to do to a very good Pittsburgh team. I mean, again, people were saying before the game, what's wrong with the Steelers? Well, they were fourth in the NFL in point differential. They were 3-1. It's in their place. So to empty out Heinz Field the way the Jaguars did was incredibly impressive. Particularly when you consider how the second half began. The Steelers come down, they get a field goal, they're able to take the lead, and you start feeling like, is this going to be a replay of the Tennessee game? It was anything but. Telvin Smith gets a pick six, which leads to a Barry Church pick six, which leads to a Leonard Fournette 90-yard touchdown. But the real key was that 12-play drive where the Jaguars took it from their own 4 all the way down into field goal territory. A 12-play all-run drive. That's unheard of in the NFL. That burned up over 8 minutes of clock in the fourth quarter. That's how you win playoff games.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of going back to what you were saying with all the interceptions that just started taking place. Like, literally, it's funny when you hear coaches say, like, turnovers come in bunches. Well, this Jags defense has forced turnovers in every game so far this season. How are they doing that?
It's a combination of rush and cover, and it's the best combination right now in the NFL, bar none. The numbers bear it out. The Jaguars have 15 takeaways. That's 3 more than anybody else. And right now, when these guys get the interception, they believe they're going to score, which makes them even more dangerous. Jalen Ramsey, I don't know if quarterbacks are going to be able to really continue to throw at him. It's obvious that Antonio Brown got his numbers, but he was targeted 19 times. Jalen Ramsey with another incredible interception, which he returns 15 yards to sort of set everything up. And then obviously had the deflection that led to Barry Church's 51-yard pick six. This is a defense right now that believes that when the ball is in the air, it is theirs. And that is scary for opponents moving forward.
And speaking of that, this Sunday, a 4 o'clock kickoff for the Jags as they take on the Rams. And the Rams has had some success on offense too, but there's going to be 2 guys that's going to be featured in that game on each respective offense. And it's possibly the 2 best running backs we've seen come out of the SEC in the past 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd Gurley playing at an unbelievable level right now under first-year coach Sean McVay out in L.A. It's going to be a challenge. The Jaguars did a good job with Le'Veon Bell, but Gurley's a little different, a little more power. Your comparison to Fournette is a good one because he is sort of in that mold. So it is going to be a difficult challenge for the Jaguar run defense, which still doesn't rank very well. It was last. It's no longer last after a strong showing against the Steelers. But again, that's, I think, the recipe that the Rams are going to try to employ to, frustrate this Jaguar defense, because as well as Jared Goff is playing, this will only be his 13th game. He's still a very young quarterback. So to expect him to have success throwing 35, 40 times right now against this defensive front and secondary is not going to work for LA.
He is Hayes Carlyon. Again, you hear him on the Frangie Show every weekday afternoon. You can read his work on 1010XL.com, presented by Mr. Reuter, his Jaguars blog. Hayes, thanks for the time as always.
Thank you.